You'll float too. Hey everyone, Scott Pyre, popcorn fan here, and I just watched the finale of It Welcome to Derry for the first season. I'm gonna go ahead and do my full review of this show, and I thought it was a really solid season. I think this being a prequel to the It movies, it definitely did a lot for me that I didn't know I wanted for the It story, and especially in regards to Bill Skarsgard as Pennywise. I thought he was amazing on this show and solidified the fact that I think he's one of the better horror icons that we've had in horror films in recent years. He's amazing in this role, and he really embodies the character, especially as Pennywise. It's iconic. It's really iconic, and I think also with the kind of story that they are tackling here for this show and how it's going to structure its future seasons going forward, I think it's really fascinating and kind of a smart decision, actually, especially with how they're kind of tackling the backstory of the entity itself, as well as the Pennywise persona that it takes on. And all of that is very fascinating. I think what they kind of address and kind of do with the lore of this worlds that we're in here, it's really intriguing. It really is. And also, I really like the group of kids that we're following on this show. Granted, I don't recognize any of those kid actors because they're all so young. I think this is probably their first project as actors, probably, I would assume. And I think they all gave really good performances, and without spoiling anything, with what they kind of set up in the season finale, I thought it was rather I mean, I was kind of expecting it, but at the same time I wasn't, and it was surprising. I liked how they handled setting things up for the movies. It was fascinating. And also, in regards to the military storyline here, I wasn't sure how I would feel about the military storyline at first, but as the show went on, I understood the motive and what was going on with the General Shaw, and what he was trying to do. It was something that he was going to get his comeuppance. He was going to get his just desserts with what he was trying to do, and didn't work out. But the actor that played General Shaw, there are a few actors on this show that I do know. James Remar. James Remar is more well known as Dexter's dad on the Dexter Show, and he was on Gotham. James Remar was on Gotham as James Gordon's uncle. Then another actor on this show that was also on Gotham was Chris Chalk. Chris Chalk played Lucius Fox on the Gotham TV show. So there was a bit of a Gotham reunion going on here with this show with these two actors. And Chris Chalk, I gotta talk about him and his character. I don't want to say his name or mention what he can do because that's spoilery, but I wasn't expecting what was going on with his character at first because I didn't know what was going on with his character at first. I didn't really piece it together right away, but as soon as he started seeing things, I kind of knew what might be going on with his character, and I was right. I know that his character is part of the bigger Stephen King world, and that's all I'm gonna say. Chris Chalk's character is part of the bigger Stephen King world. That is all I'm going to say. No other spoilers for me here for his character, but it was really fascinating, and I thought he gave the best performance too. I thought he gave an amazing performance as his character. I definitely think that was like the most well-rounded, like in regards to performance from all the actors, from Chris Chalk himself, and I thought he was great. So yeah, and also like the writing here was surprisingly decently well done too. Like I thought the writing, especially addressing the bigger lore and bigger world, having quite a bit of world building, was also pretty well done here. And I'm curious. I mean, I know how they're kind of structuring future seasons going forward, because it is rather fascinating with what they're doing here in regards to being a prequel show, not just to the It movies, but also to other Stephen King adaptations that I also don't want to name because it would spoil Chris Chalk's character. But yeah, it was really cool. I loved it. In regards to like issues, I do think there's like one or two episodes where the pacing does slow down a little bit, but overall though, it was a really good show with a really good production too. This show is not shy from getting very gory. It ain't shy from getting gory. It ain't. There's some pretty good scares here too. This is definitely like Pennywise feeling I thought he was a lot more intimidating on this show than he was in the movies. It was really interesting with how they handled some of the jump scares and some of the more like horror elements of this series, that definitely got me once or twice. And also in the finale, there was this one moment, admittedly, with Pennywise in the finale that kind of made me chuckle a little bit. It was kind of funny, but yeah, overall, I loved this series. Like, if you're a fan of the It show, or if you're a fan of the It story, the original novel, and the movies, and even the mini-series with Tim Curry as the Pennywise character, I think there's a lot here to appreciate. There really is. It's a really great series. So, overall, I'd argue that, yeah, I'd give this an A grade. I'd give this an A grade. I don't have too many flaws for this show. It was really good. And yeah, surprisingly, it's an A grade for me. Yeah. Welcome to Derry is an A grade for me. So that should do it for this review and all my thoughts about this show. And again, I think in regards to the bigger Stephen King world, other adaptations that we've gotten, even the Dr. Sleep movie, which was a continuation of The Shining, I thought was a really solid film too. Like, Stephen King adaptations have had really good quality these past few years, and this one definitely up there. I thought it was great. Noted Dr. Sleep and the original Shining movie that still has influence in other adaptations now, especially this show. That's all I'm gonna say. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts about it. Welcome to Derry once you see it. So I'll catch you guys next time, and we'll all float too. Peace.